Hey guys, this is Technician Gamer here, and I'm going over all the Titans that will be available in Titanfall 2, and also that have actually been revealed for the game. As you know from the beta, we were only able to actually play 2 out of the 6, Scorch and then Ion. But over the course of the last week, they've actually revealed the other 4 Titans that we are going to be have access to when the full game is released. If you go over to their website, you can view each of the Titans and all their abilities, and then also on the Titanfall YouTube channel, they have a video of each of the Titans and their abilities and the weapons that they have. But if you go over to the website, they have North Star, Ronin, of course Scorch, and then Ion, and then Legion, and then Tone. So those are the 6 Titans we were going to be able to use. As far as how they look, it looks like Scorch and then Legion. It looks like those, are part of like the Ogre family of Titans. And then of course Ion and Tone are part of like Atlas. And then North Star and Ronin look like they're part of like the Strider class, as all of these Titans and how they're built. But diving right into North Star, we can see that the plasma railgun is coming back, and then as far as the abilities, there's the ordnance, which is looks like the cluster missile, the tactical VTOL hover, vertical takeoff hover. Defensive, we have the tether trap, mines that lock down nearby on enemy Titans, and then the core is flight core, hover unleashing rockets at targets below. So that is very interesting that this time around they actually have a Titan that has, I guess, a takeoff ability. As far as how high you can go, I mean, based on the trailer that I will link down in the description, it looks like you can get to a pretty good height, and then also you can unleash the rockets through that flight core ability. The next Titan we have is Ronin, and at first I thought we were getting the triple threat back, which basically, I mean, it looks exactly like the triple threat, but this is called the lead wall shotgun, a high power low capacity shotgun that bounces off walls. So that is very interesting, and I can't wait to be able to try him out. His ordnance is arc wave. Swiping his sword across the ground, Ronin creates an electric wave that damages and slows enemies hit by it. The tactical phase dash, Ronin dashes in a given direction, temporarily phasing out of the world, avoid incoming fire, and creating the element of surprise. Defensive sword block, reduces damage taken, can be held indefinitely. And then his core, sword core, empowers his melee and sword abilities and gives access to new sword attacks. So after playing with him for a little bit, I can see how Ronin can be a very deadly and lethal Titan to use, especially with that sword and by that execution that they showed in that video. I definitely cannot wait to probably try out Ronin first out of all the Titans. Getting into the next one, of course, this one's from the beta. We have Scorch, manipulates fire as its primary source of defensive and offensive abilities. And he has the T-203 thermite launcher, lethal single-shot thermite projectiles that set anything ablaze within range. The ordnance he has is Firewall. The name says it all. Fires a directed wall of thermite in the enemy's direction. His tactical was the Incendiary Trap, deploys flammable gas canisters which can be triggered by the slightest spark. His defensive thermal shield liquefies incoming artillery while dealing damage to nearby enemies. And then of course his core, his flame core, creates a giant wave of fire that destroys anything in its path. And when using Scorch in the beta, I was actually surprised, as when you fired the single shot, there is an arc, of course, to it, and I was able to kill pilots pretty easily with that. And as far as the Incendiary Trap, I mean, you combine that with, the thermite launcher. If you have a bunch of enemies, especially in objective mode, I mean, you will get a lot of kills when chaining, those 2 moves. So Scorch definitely was my favorite to use in the beta over Ion. I mean, they were both great to use, but I definitely favored Scorch while playing that beta. And so, you know, diving into Ion here, Ion uses its energy management abilities to divert power between its 3 weapon systems. And then he has the Splitter Rifle, rapid single-fire energy rifle with the ability to leverage the Ion central energy system to 3 deadly shots at once. His ordnance was a laser shot. Shoulder-mounted, this lethal beam cuts through anything in its way. His tactical is tripwire, laser-triggered explosive mines. His defensive is a vortex shield, absorb incoming fire and redirect it back at the enemy. And then his core was the laser core, a deadly oversized laser being fired from the chest of the Ion and capable of stopping anything in its path. So Ion was fun to use. I think I had one game where everyone was using Ion, and then we were able to take out the drop ship at the very end of the match that we were playing. But getting into this next one, Legion. Legion utilizes an assortment of ballistic abilities focusing on defense and control, and his weapon is the Predator Cannon, powerful minigun with a long spin-up time before it starts firing. His abilities are the Power Shot, close range, knocks back nearby enemies, long range, damages all enemies in its path. Tactical, mode switch, switch between close range and long range precision rounds. Defensive, gun shield, deploys a protective shield from the Predator Cannon, and then his core is Smart Core. The Predator Cannon automatically locks onto anything in range. And then of course, last but not least, we have Tone. Tone is about accurately laying waste to enemies, both efficiently and explosively. His primary weapon, Tracker 40mm. The 40mm tracker cannon shoots semi-auto explosive rounds, which actually now acquires partial lock-on. So they took the 40mm cannon and they've actually adjusted a little bit, and so that's going to be interesting how it plays when we get the full release of this game. I can't wait to try that weapon out. The Ordnance Tracker Rockets fires missiles at fully locked enemies. Full lock-on is required. The Tactical is Sonar Lock, reveals enemies in an area and establishes partial lock. His defensive Particle Wall places a defensive barrier in front of Tone that she can shoot through. And then the Core, Salvo Core, unleashes a barrage of rockets that can be guided in flight, and they'll prioritize any locked target Tone looks at. So there are all the Titans. As far as, you know, trying all these out, I mean, as far as trying all these out, I definitely want to play Ronin, and then Tone, and then I would like to try North Star, and then Legion, in that order of the Titans that have been revealed. It's really quite amazing that they've added 3 more Titans for a total of 6, and they each have like their own specific ability. I can't imagine that we'd be able to like switch out weapons between them all, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the full game. And then as far as like leveling, I hope you can level up a little faster in game, because during that beta it seemed like it was a little slow to me, but we'll just, you know, we'll see what happens. But there you guys have it. There are all the Titans. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know what Titan that you are looking forward to the most is playing as. Be looking forward to hearing the responses from you guys. Stay tuned for more content to come, and I will be seeing you guys on the next video.